First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. I usually never... Hold on for a minute. Let me see what's going on. Okay, so I get asked these questions all the time when it comes to projection setups. Do they cost a lot of money? It depends. It depends on basically the kind of screen you have. It all comes down to your screen. So bottom line is most projection setups that I see that cost a lot of money, people have to spend a ton of money for projectors, comes from having a screen that's going to have some issues with poor images and fully lit environments. It's going to be to maintain contrast and color. These are screens you're going to have to go out and spend money for very expensive projectors to make up for what the screen can't do. For instance, we make a great technology screen paint. Even though you can use it on lower quality projectors, you don't have to spend the money for expensive projectors to use it. If you're going to try to get 100% contrast, if we only made that product and you wanted to get 100% contrast or try to get 100% contrast as dark as possible, you would either have to spend the money for a much darker screen, or you would have to spend the money for a projector within a very high contrast capability. The benefits of black technology is the fact that we don't have to go out and spend money for very expensive projectors to make the screen look heavier contrast, better color, due to the fact that the screen automatically has that capability. So what we have against the screen right now, if I can find where my remote controls are, we have a gray surface and we have a white surface. I was trying to find my silver and track it down. My projector in the demonstration is my Chrissy, my work projectors. It's my Chrissy LW501i. That projector is a very old projector. I got it for around $270. I got it off eBay. I got it used, of course. And I got it pretty much, not to change the lamp. I haven't changed the lamp out yet on the projector, and I've had it for quite some time. So with this projector has a 2000-to-1 contrast ratio, which means if I was using this on a gray screen or white screen, I would have to upgrade to a projector with a higher contrast, which means this would end up costing me more money. But because the technology we have here is black, that's something I don't have to invest in. On top of that, like I said, my colors are going to pull a lot better. For instance, let's show you a demonstration right now. Now, as you can see, that the black screen's not having an issue, being able to maintain its color and contrast with no problem. Also, too, black screens are actually the best when it comes to ambient light projection technology. They can absorb in tons of light. We use these outside because they have the ability to absorb in a lot of light. And this is one of the problems. We see people who contact us. They say, well, I got a gray screen, I got a white screen. Every time I turn on the lights, the screen washes out. Can't get the color to produce. It looks awful. As I said before, now our gray screen paints are tested. Just put it out there. We do test our products. So we do our test demonstrations, post it onto the website. But as I said before, it's very important that when it comes down to having the best of the best, the black technology is where it's at. Now, I'll show you something real quick. Colors. Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
We'll start with the basic color red. And this will show you how your colors are pulling up versus a black screen. So my projector requires no calibrating. I don't have to because it's automatically bringing up the proper color red. And again, I don't have to spend all this money for a very expensive projector. Blue screen. Now the reason why we do the color pattern, because as we do the color pattern, it shows you exactly what the screen is allowing for your projector to pick up. This is the reason why some people go out, they're not picking up their colors correctly. They go out and spend more money for a projector because they think this is going to help the problem, when actually it's not going to help the problem. The problem is coming from the screen. And the reason why people are spending all this money for these expensive projectors is to make it for what the screen can't do. Green screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Purple screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Now with our technology, like I said, I am not required to go out and spend the money, or my customers are not required to go out and spend the money for expensive projectors. They can just pop over to eBay and just buy a projector right from there. That would pretty much cost them like from 60 to 140 bucks. And speaking as price wise, the ultra short throw projector I have seen right there, that displays for the floor, cost me 60 bucks. And the short throw projector right there that displays for the ceiling cost me 140 bucks. This projector right here cost me $270. And my projector in the next room over here that I use in the lounge cost me 150 bucks. Now, some people will skip over 720p projector because they feel that a 720p projector is not going to have the same power as a 1080p projector. We've done side-by-side demonstrations. As a matter of fact, I'll post below a demonstration of the 44 black side-by-side demonstration to a 720p versus 1080p. All right, go over to gray. This is interesting. Screen's black. These surface, well, actually, one's white, one's gray. You'll see where our screen will pick up a better gray level. Gray screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
We'll pick up multiple gray screens. We have dark gray. Now, our technology allows you to save money at the end of the day. Our gray screen paint products are the lowest on the market at $38. And with test demonstrations under those products, it proves that there's nothing like it, especially being sold on YouTube, eBay, or any place else. As I said before, when it comes to our black technology, those of you craving that 100% contrast level, this is where this technology comes in. So I go to forum sites, I see people with all these expensive setups, and still the screen is washed out and faded due to the fact that the screen can't accept or pick up the image. Now you're going to spend a lot of money trying to correct that problem. And you're still going to have it either way at the end of the day. It comes down to the screen. You only get 50% of your projector once you purchase it. Let's go over to slow color changeout. We'll do 3 of those.
Getting that from YouTube.
And these are demonstrations that a lot of people will skip because they want to show you exactly if their screens are having these problems or these difficulties. Now my screen size here, which I've measured, comes in 85 inches at around 1610. I got it set for 1610. As you see, when the color changes out on the screen, you can see where the white screen and gray screen will remain the same. We do these tests on our own gray screen paint products, like I said, that have been able to beat the particular products you see here right now. The Network Gray 773, we use that for testing against our own product because that's pretty much what the usual screen paint usually looks like on the market. Now, some people have to go out and spend anywhere from $2,000, let's say $1,800, $2,000. They'll spend things like spending the price range of $3,000, $4,000 to be able to pick up better color and better contrast. And this is why these screens become expensive. On top of that, you're talking about certified screens. Certified screens can cost you in the price range of somewhere between $3,000 to $5,000, which I should have grabbed downstairs. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab 2 certified screens. Now we're going to talk about the category of certified projection screens. These are the big boy screens. These screens are going to cost you $3,000, $5,000, some are $1,500. These can be some very expensive screens, depending on the make and model you have, what company is making them. Where's my tape at? Just want to tape on this presentation. There you go, indication supply. As I said before, the technology we have here is black technology. There's no such thing as a certified black screen. Ooh, we checked. A certified gunmetal screen, which cannot produce the same black level as our technology, would cost you $1,500. In the price range of $1,500, some will run you up to $3,000 to $5,000. Our technology right here, this 150-inch screen, would cost our customers $341. Mind you, 100-inch of these technologies would cost you a ton of money. And again, you're going to have to buy a high-end projector to go with that high-end screen, because that's what they're going to advise you to do. Which means you're going to spend another $3,000 or $4,000 for a projector. So what most people will do is, when looking at these screens thinking, gee whiz, this is a lot of money, they will go take the shortcut. They'll go either get a white screen, and they really think they're getting their image off a white screen. I get that so many times, like, oh, I got a white screen. It looks so, no, it's absolutely, it looks horrible. It does. On my end, they don't look the way people think. So you're watching a white screen for the first time, you really think you're getting a real screen. You're not. That's a bottom dollar screen. White screens have been around since the silent era of movies. That's how old they are. You want to go with the mid-gray? Mid-gray is around like $800, $900. You're still going to be missing your contrast and color. You're not going to really be able to pick up anything until you start spending anywhere in the $3,000, $5,000 range. All right, let's take these down. White screen and gray screen. We'll start off with the Dark Star 9. Right here in the center. Make sure that's set nicely. That is a $3,000 projection screen. DMP Supernova. They run about $4,000. Both Infinity and Blade. Put that one right there. Let's go with Daylight's screen. I literally thought this screen is very dark. I thought this screen actually was a black screen when I first saw it, then I realized later on it wasn't. We got it here for the gunmetal. Now this simple demonstration right here is something that, well, I can't say our technology kind of based, our gray technology can do this, but other gray screen paints I haven't seen do this at all. Our screen has, our grade 2.0 has a test of 9 certified screen tests. Again, I haven't seen this yet with anybody else. And even our gray screen paint, being as advanced as it is, still can't beat a black screen. All right, so make sure our ends are taped down quite nicely. So we go to form sites, the elitists, which we call them, have these screens set up at 120 inches, very expensive setup. All right. So that right there is a $5,000 projection screen. Put that one right here. Now that one was able to match our 2.0 gray screen. The 3000 couldn't match it, and the DMP Supernova couldn't match our gray screen. But the Daylight screen was able to match it. This is black. This is a whole different category of screen, so it wouldn't be able to touch it because these screens are gunmetal. I just remember, I put my little looking through it, so I was like, remember?
Before your first 5-star review, and before you saved your life, you decided to take the chance.
All All right, we got another DMP Supernova. That's a heavy gunmetal. The darker the screen, the more expensive screen. That's how it works in the industry. The darker your screen becomes, the more expensive it becomes. This is why our technology is the most affordable in the market, because you have 4 certified screens sitting there ranging from $4,000, $5,000, cheapest one at $3,000, and that's just for a 100-inch screen. The screen they're being displayed off is 150 inches. Projector we're using in our demonstration cost me around $272, and then most people, if they have these screens and they're not picking up their colors correctly, they feel they need to go out and spend the money for a more expensive projector because they figure that's going to help them pick up the color quality and contrast. At the end of the day, you may pick up a better color, a slightly better white level, but you will never see a contrast level, not ever. Even if you have a 2 million to 1, 3 million to 1, 4 million to 1, you cannot get a projector to produce a contrast level so dark that the screen becomes, what's the word for it? Produces a 1% real black level. So, it ends up costing you more money without our technology. With our technology, this would cost you pretty much next to nothing. You can have a setup with a 150-inch screen, or over there we have our short throw, which we blow the whole screen up at $60. Those projectors are like under $200 of our customers pay for, or the Christie LW400s, LXW. Those are amazing projectors. We get those for like 150, 160 bucks. So all the projectors that I own and have, these projectors were highest price range, 500 bucks, lowest projector, somewhere around 60, or 60? Is that 60? I think the 235 was 150 bucks. Yeah, that's the lowest projector, $60. Starfield screensaver.
Getting that from YouTube.
And I've seen people go nuts buying a projector. They worry about the contrast levels. They worry about the color. If they got enough color. It's an 8-bit. It's a 12-bit. They got enough on that. The resolution count, if it's 4K, if it's 720p, if it's 1080p. Look, when it comes to our technology, pretty much the only thing you don't have to worry about much. You don't need an HDMI output because I'm not even using an HDMI output on this demonstration. I'm using a VGA to HDMI converter. That's what I'm using. So it really doesn't make a difference if you have HDMI or not. Lumens, these screens can drop down to 1,000 lumens. So that's not an issue. Ultra short throw, they're ultra short throw compatible, so you don't have to worry about that. These screens are not ultra short throw compatible due to the fact that they will turn dark. They tell you don't use them with ultra short throw. So our screen's ultra short throw, you don't have to worry about that. 720p, we do a lot of demonstrations in 720p, and our screens look absolutely incredible in 720p. So an expensive projector at 1080p and 4K, you're just not going to need it because the screen is designed to make a 720p look incredible. What else could I possibly be thinking? Yeah, just at the end of the day, you think about it, you're not going to have to worry about any of that because due to the fact that our technology is designed to give you more than 50% of your projector's performance. Let's go with 8K desired nature.
Getting that from YouTube.
All right, this is a really heavy contrast level I like to use in my demonstrations. And as you can see, our technology is pulling a 100% contrast next to 4 of our top certified screens we have in our collection. And the beautiful thing about it is our screen technology has real ambient light projection technology where our screens can maintain a fully lit environment without the screen washing out or fading. Now, we go to forum sites who have these particular screens and we do this demonstration, it goes to show them that they spent all this money for this high-end setup, expensive projector, and they can't even do this. Where our screens can pull a 100% contrast level with no problem. So, is it expensive to have a setup? No, it isn't. It's very, very cheap to have your own movie theater in your home. Extremely cheap. It wasn't at one point, it was a luxury to have your own movie theater in your home. But now today, it's very cheap. You don't have to spend $2,000 and $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000 for a high-end screen. You don't have to basically deal with untested great screen paint mixes or white projection screens. And keep in mind, if you're dealing with those, you're going to definitely have to go out and buy a high-end projector to make up for what the screen can't do, and you still are going to be suffering. You don't spend the money for expensive, high-end, up-to-date projectors. That's not required. You don't have to have a special screen or ultra-short throw projector, and again, you don't have to be trapped in the dark. That's why I have so many screens throughout my house, and I own over 70 projectors due to the fact that I don't have to pay anything. With our technology, it's not going to be expensive. And on top of that, you're going to have an amazing image at the end of the day. I like this particular demonstration because I love the colors on it.
Make this the summer you realize the farther you go, the better it gets. And discover that even out here, you're never alone. Make this the summer of Jeep with the most awarded SUV.
I think I'm going to go pick up another certified from downstairs. I'm going to all the way across. Sony 4K demonstrations, color.
Getting that from YouTube.
So we get ourselves another certified screen. Might as well. Alright, I'll grab another daylight screen. I got both the samples from them for that one, right there. That's their new one. I explained to people before, when I have people sit there and make campaigns about how they're saving you hundreds, how? They can't even save themselves money at the end of the day. You're in the dark. Most people are in the dark. $3,000, $4,000 projector. The only way that projector is going to be to improve, you got to buy a more advanced screen. It's the only way it's going to improve. So you're going to, the only person I've seen so far with the P2 had a $3,000 dark Sir-9. That's the only one I've seen. So you're going to spend more money. The darker you go on your screen, the better your contrast is going to improve, which means the better that advancement they give you on your projector to produce darker contrast levels. That only works when your screen becomes darker. If you have a black screen, it's completely much pointless. You bought something you're never going to use. So my screens displayed throughout my entire house can take out certifies. That's what the black technology was engineered for. I explained that when I first started developing our technology way back before any of the naysayers ever existed. That the reason why this technology was engineered was for certifies. The first screen we ever got our hands on to see the difference between our product was a black diamond. So seeing the black diamond's capability to pull better contrast and color than my screens, my gray screen paint products, I decided to go in the direction of the gunmetal technology, which we came up with the D5K and D6K technology. And with that, that's where we got notification from Diamond that they liked the products that we had. But going dark gray wasn't enough. I wanted a physical black screen because I thought the Diamond was a physical black screen and I wanted the same thing. So that's what I went for. And here we are now with a black screen that can take out a certified without no problem at all. Now, when I was coming up, basically, it was unheard of that a screen paint would have the ability to be able to take on a projection screen. Unheard of. Well, never say never. And I've had this argument many times on AVS forums. And now look at our technology. That technology you see right here, this black technology, doesn't really care about the gray screen at the end of the day. It was engineered for certifies. Any certified screen that lays against the screen, not going to be able to match it. So you have a screen here at $341 for 151 inches, and you got screens on here ranging anywhere from $1,500, $4,000, $3,000, $5,000 that can't even match the technology. Interesting. Let's do the LG, my personal favorite. Now, what I like about the LG is that anything that comes up in tan or discoloration means it can't accept color or contrast. So if I had any one of these screens sitting against my wall at $3,000 or $5,000 a pop, this is what I would pick up. So when I have customers come back and go, good Lord, you mean to tell me that screens cost that much money? Yeah, they can cost that much money, easily. This is why we designed this technology. So that way, people who want those high-end expensive screens can have it for a cheaper price. So you don't have to spend a lot of money. That's the reason why we developed the 2.0 digital. So people can have a decent gray screen at the end of the day, and not a screen that basically is not doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And again, no expensive projector. So in their demonstrations, high-end expensive projectors, in our demonstration, we have a projector that was discontinued in 2012. Cost $270. Didn't cost any money at all. Compared to a projector that would cost you $3,000 to $4,000. I bought the projector because it produces really high contrast. My projector is 2,000 to 1 in contrast. I got a 12-bit color processor. We got 8. I've calibrated my projector. We don't calibrate. We don't have to. You got to calibrate to get your colors right. We don't need that. Our screens automatically do it. Ambient light rejection technology. This is why I was talking to a fellow over in AVS forums on how they give out that so loosely, ambient light rejection technology. Just because your screens can absorb light means they still have to maintain the image without washing out at the same time. Some people get that mixed up. They really believe at the end of the day, if the screen can take in a ton of light and the picture, if it's watchable, if it's near watchable, it's passable. No, it must stay intact. As if you had your lights out. Now they make an acoustic screen by Elite Screen. I've seen the acoustic screen for what was it makes that? Vivistorm. The Vivistorm version is gray, which we already know it's going to happen if we lay that against a black screen that's acoustic. And the Elite Screen has a white screen, which is no match for a black acoustic screen. That's a $1,500, maybe $2,000 screen. See how the color improves on the screen once the lights go out? That's why I consider ambient light rejection, when people say they have it, be a joke. That's another thing you have to worry about. Even when you're buying a gray screen paint product, are you getting real ambient light rejection technology, or are you getting something that's fake? That's something you have to think about too also, because a lot of people out there, I'm not saying a lot, there's a few people out there that are basically pushing their products to be ambient light rejection or being to pull contrast levels and colors, and they have no testing under their products. Not good. Let me show you something interesting. Let's go with it. I was sitting back watching a little TV, and someone had contacted me and asking me about, is it expensive to have a home theater movie setup? I'm like, no, it's not expensive. Depends on what you're dealing with. If you deal with a gray screen, not our gray screen, because our stuff is tested. Post it on the website, check it out for yourself. As for other untested gray screen paint products, yeah, you're going to spend some money. You got to buy a projector to make up for what your screen can't do. That's what you're going to have to spend the money for, and it's not going to be cheap. White screens, you're definitely going to have to spend the money for a good projector, because this ain't going to pick up jack. Some of the certified screens, you got to do with the narrow viewing cone effect, which means if you turn from left to right, the screen turns dark as you move. 4K snow screensavers.
Getting that from YouTube.
Put it with me. I know it did. Oh, here it is. I know it was. Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
isn't a politician.
My great goodness. Can we get through one freaking commercial now? I forgot to run that time. Red screen. Solid
Getting
red.
that from YouTube.
What I'm requesting. So we are testing something. I think I may be making something else in the gray category. I'm thinking about it. Maybe something a little bit darker in the gray category. But we don't deal with, we deal with gunmetal technology. When I see the screen paints, like you already know the different versions of them. I'm going to mention what they are because I don't care if the person gets upset. Who cares? Because he fits too much. The Frankenstein and the UV, that's gray paint. That's not gunmetal. Gunmetal screens are literally so dark. If you've seen some of our demonstrations, I've people mistaking them for black screens. So we need to make a proper dark gray screen with testing. Because as I said before, they're also pushing those products up too. Now we've already conquered that whole gray area. That's done. But next, I think we need to start working on a cheaper gray screen product. That'll be our next project. And you're actually seeing a sample of it right now. That is something we're working on next. Because I figure, why not come back and basically take over that section? I mean, like I said, I was happy in being in black technology, but why not make now a darker version of it? Which I'm thinking we're going to do. Now, will it compete with our black screens? No. Is it going to compete with our with the technology we develop? No, not really. But again, this also gives the customer a real screen at the end of the day because, like I said, we see a lot of these fake dark gray screens on the market. Again, no testing. And one of the testing these screens need to go through is called a white level test. And they don't do that. All right. So let's get back to basic here. Do you have to spend a lot of money for a projection setup? No, you don't have to. With our technology, you don't have to have expensive projectors. You don't have to have 4K projectors. You don't have to have any of that stuff whatsoever. If you don't need it, you don't have to spend the money. You don't have to spend the money for certified screens or none of that whatsoever. Because again, our technology does just about everything. Fully lit environment, no problem. Real ambient light projection technology. Would you be stuck in the dark? Not going to happen. Do you have to use an expensive high-end projector? Some people feel that if they're going to be able to use their screen in a fully lit environment, what they'll do is they get a projector with a higher lumen count, thinking that's going to fix the problem. No, you're just going to wash your screen out even faster. So buying a projector with a higher lumen count is going to cost you more money. Or it can go the way we go. We get these cheap old projectors that don't cost a lot of money for a higher lumen count. But either way, you're still not going to be able to pick up the image that you want. No matter what projector you swap out and get or what you buy or how much you pay for it, you're still not going to be able to pick up the image that you want because the only screens that have that capability are black screens, which is our technology right there. And as you can see with the silver screen, white screen, and gray screen, neither one of them can pick up proper color. Blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Our products will save you a ton of money. I got a customer who just did a setup, 150-inch screen displayed on our site right now. He paid $150 or $60 for his projector. We pointed out where to get it from, and he got 150-inch screen from us that cost him around $341. So his screen is designed to take on a certified screen, which we have the technology to show it. So that saved him lots and lots of money. One of my first customers, well, near first customers, was a friend of mine. He was going to spend $20,000 for a 120-inch black diamond screen. And he never forget, he said he had it in the shopping cart. He was just about to purchase it, started doing some research, and he found me. Saved that man a ton of money. Sorry, Diamond, but our technology is better. And much more affordable. You'd be surprised how many customers I have talked to who were just about to go buy or pull the trigger on an expensive screen, expensive projector. I call them and say, what's your budget on a projector? How about $4,000, $3,000? You spending way too much money. Take them over to eBay. Get them a projector over there for around $200, $300. That's it. Set them up with our technology, and that's why we have them displayed on our website right now. freedom of not having to spend all this money on a projector or knock your brains out trying to figure out what projector is going to work well in your environment. That screen allows it to work well in your environment. Mind you, we're at 1080p, 1920 by 1200, 5000 lumens, and neither one of those screens are picking up the color blue in this environment. And even our $38 screen paint, the gray, can knock out $3,000 projection screens with ease, with no problem. Downstairs in a max out zone, which is far brighter than this. Our products allow our customers to save money. So yes, you can have that beautiful home theater set up, take all that extra money and go put on some nice movie chairs, maybe a movie sofa or popcorn machine, which I have upstairs in a dedicated theater room, because you'll be saving all that money instead of going out and buying these products and getting you having a 100% real ambient projection that pulls a 100% contrast level, and you can use that in a fully lit environment without an issue. Purple screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Interesting, isn't it? For the longest time, people thought silver screens were the best screens to have in your home. Worst idea you can possibly have. That screen generates a higher white level than a white screen. Almost close enough to it. Almost close enough to it. That thing will wash your colors out even faster. Pink screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
We do the color patterns so that way you can see exactly what the colors will look like, how they don't pick up at all. No matter which one we choose, they just don't pick up. And it's the first thing people complain about when they have a screen like these sitting up there. The first thing they'll think is, oh, I don't have enough lumens on my projector, my screen's washing out, maybe I have to be in a darker environment. That's the first thing that goes through your head. Maybe if I spend a little more money, I can get a better image. Nope, nope, nope. You're still getting 50% of your projector, no matter what you buy. Doesn't even work when you have your lights out. We got a dedicated theater room upstairs. If I were to just stick these screens up there, we have a 5,000 lumen 1080p Christie projector, their full venue, sitting up there. We hit one of these with that in that environment, they don't pick up at all. Period. Certifieds don't even pick up in that room. And that room is designed to be jet black. Let's go fire up the monster. I'm done on this one for today. This is already set up. We got the projector ready for outside. I'm going upstairs to my dedicated room. Back so we don't lose it. Those of you that are dying to get your own dedicated theater room set up, see those all the time. I have no idea why people have white screens and a dedicated theater room set up. I just have to ask that question. Why do you have a white screen and a dedicated room set up? Why? You didn't spend all that money for that whole setup. Chairs, the whole 9 yards, vintage popcorn machine, the whole 9 yards, to have a white screen in there. Why? That's the worst thing you could do. Me getting an expensive sports car and filling it with regular gas. See my other animals out there eating today. That's what it's like. Oh, I need to stand too. So we're going upstairs to the dedicated theater room. My project I'm working on. Pretty soon we'll be finished the other setup, which has the levitating screen set up, which we got a brand new idea for that one. I can't wait. My screen gets here today. Unfortunately, Amazon lost one of the ingredients, but I reordered it again. They just have to reimburse me. So we're still working on this room right here, getting that ready. We have some of the stuff that we have in the other room back there because they switch up the rooms. Switch up the room so we can paint. This is the dedicated theater room. So stuff you're seeing in here does not belong here. They belong in the next room. This screen we have in here is called an absolute black. I designed it for myself because I wanted an acoustic screen, but I wanted something as dark as 39. There's my projector right there. That's a Chrissy LW505. That's one of the best projectors we have in the house. That projector is very hard to get your hands on, and I believe me, so there he is. There he is. Wow. I actually had 2 of them I bought, and each one that came through was defected. So it's a projector that people will jump on in a hot second to buy, but you have to be careful because a lot of them are faulty. Now this setup in here didn't cost a lot of money. Very easy to put in. Matter of fact, when we're done, we're going to tally up how much we spent to set this room up. And the 2 most expensive things we'll pay for in here is the screen and the projector. The projector cost me $500 because I was able to eBay for $500. And the screen, which is actually one of the free color selections for the acoustic screens, this is a 135 inch or 150 inch converted to 135. For my setup in here, that would cost the customer around $141. Video output? Why don't we video output? Oh, I'm switching the outputs here for a minute. Oh, here. There we go. We got screens all over the house. I barely get a chance to come in here. We got so many screens to show off. I don't know how my volume was. Red screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
Real loud in here. It's probably doing a movie demonstration. All right, so this room, as you can see, is designed to be dark. So we're going to put a couple of these surfaces up. Now my projector, like I said, is an old Chrissy projector, 1080p projector. When people have an issue with their screens not being able to pull an image, the first thing they'll do is to go out and buy an expensive projector. Chances are they'll probably skip over the projector I have in here because, like I said, this projector again, it's another one discontinued in 2012. It's an old projector, and people have their dedicated room setups, would skip over this projector, go out and buy the money for a very expensive projector, and this is going to start costing you money. And then you get a better screen, to go out and spend the money for a silver screen, or to spend the money for a high-end white screen, or to spend the money for a gunmetal screen, which we don't see too much of. Gunmetal screens are expensive. And if you're doing a dedicated theater room, having a 120-inch screen in there is not going to be big enough. 135, I think, should be the smallest you can have in a dedicated theater room setup. So we're going to grab ourselves our certified screens right here. We have the Dark Star 9. Right there, Dark Star 9. Put that right there. Try to be pulled over a little bit. So Now this surface right here is a surface that we have is already pre-coated. Customer doesn't have to do any work at all. Take it out of the package, set it up, and you're done. I got one actually hanging to my wall with no frame. You got daylight screen right here. There we go. All right. As I said before, if a customer wanted to do this setup I have in here, it would cost them $500 for the projector. We don't need to spend $500, but $500, or you can go with the Christie LW 400 or LWX 400. They're about 160, 170 bucks. That's all you need to spend. I got this projector because it has that lens shift that allows me to duck under my ceiling, my lights over here, my fan. So that projector has that capability, but the other ones wouldn't do it, so that's why I couldn't put them up here. So, but you can use that one with no problem whatsoever. This projector will cost you around, like I said, 150, 160 bucks, including with the screen. You still would be under the $1,000 mark. With this projector costing $500 and the screen costing $341, you're about $841. You're still under the $1,000 mark. All right, let me get my remote controls, which I should have in here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Let's take our lights up. Ooh, watch out for that, please. Let's take our lights out. And as you can see, with the lights out and our dedicated theater room, you can see where the screens are not going to pick up also well. Here we go. So that is our absolute black technology. As you can see, we're picking up a 100% red level. Again, this is a screen. These screens up here, some of these screens will cost you $1,500, $3,000, $5,000 for a projection screen easily. And our technology at 150 inches, which was converted to 135 for this setup, will cost our customers $341. Do we have the network gray up there? Oh, we do have the network gray. Network gray is on this side. That's the network gray. That's the white sheet of paper. That's certified, and that's silver. All right, let's go over to blue screen.
Getting that from YouTube.
There's blue screen. Mind you, we're in a pitch black environment. It's a dedicated room setup. So this is what we would be picking up on any one of these screens. This is why black technology, our black technology, is the best. Slow color change out.
Getting that from YouTube.
So it doesn't make a difference if you're in a dedicated room setup or if you're inside or outside, you can't pick up. I'm going to be doing some displays outside pretty soon, just to show you at the end of the day, they don't work in any setting. Now, we can't take the certifieds out there because they're not designed for it. But those of you who figure that, okay, if I go with the gray screen, or mind you got an untested gray screen, let's make that clear. Untested gray screen paint product, or if I go with original white screen or do a silver screen, I'm going to be able to pick up an amazing image. No, you're not. 5,000 lumen Christie over the top of my head right now, 1920 by 1200, full venue projector. Can't see the screens. This is what I see in dedicated theater rooms all the time. This is why they're calibrating the projector so their colors are off. Starfield screensaver, for some contrast.
Getting that from YouTube.
With a 2,000:1 contrast ratio projector, that's what we're going to do. So you mean to tell me, when I go on these forum sites, you spent $3,000 for a projection screen, almost 10 grand for a projector, with all that contrast, and you still can't see contrast? Nothing wrong with the projector, it's the screen that's having an issue. They up the contrast so high on a projector that someone can get a somewhat decent shade of gray. You're not picking up black. All that money spent. So if you end up with a black screen, what's the point of you spending the money for the projector with a 10,000 or 20,000 or 2 million to 1 contrast if the screen's already black? it becomes useless. When they design those projectors aren't designed for black screens. If they were designed for black screens, it wouldn't have a contrast ratio because it wouldn't be needed. Those projectors are designed for screens that are white and gray. Gunmetal screens that don't have the ability to pull a 100% contrast level, therefore you will pay more money. Our technology, I can go to eBay right now, give me a projector, costs $50, $60, $70, even $150. I got one sitting on the floor right now, right next to me. And I can produce 100% contrast. Some people think it has something to do with the 4K. It has nothing to do with that. Just the screen resolution has nothing to do with that. If you up some people, biggest mistake they make, they'll get a screen, have it in a fluid environment. They think the screen's washing out because they need a much brighter projector in order to push the image across all that light to make contact with the screen. Still, you're pushing light along with your picture. At the same time, it's going to hit a surface that's not even designed to handle the light in the environment, which means you're going to wash your image out even faster. My personal favorite, 8K desired nature.
Getting that from YouTube.
It's a $3,000 screen sitting over there. $5,000 screen. And you mean to tell me you can't pick up a contrast level? Why did you just spend your money on? So this is why when I tell customers, when they buy from us, why? It's not going to cost you a lot of money to have a home theater, movie theater, whatever setup you want to have. It's not going to cost you a lot of money. Lights on if I want. I have that option. And I can still maintain my contrast. I was over certified. So it's the industry that would tell you that you have to go out and spend all this money for this expensive projector, that you have to be stuck in an ambient-like controlled environment, that you have to calibrate your screen because your images and colors aren't coming out correctly, that you have to spend the money for a very expensive projector with a high contrast capability so you can pick up a somewhat decent shade of gray, not black, gray. And the horrible thing about it, for those of you who have outdoor setups, even worse because I see them all day, white screens, all day. Can't pick up color, can't see contrast, horrible. And people will spend a lot of money for that just to pick up absolute nothing. Kind of reminds me of one of those game systems. Oh yeah, whatchamacallit had that, the treasure chests that you used to buy. You take a gamble when you would do these treasure chests because you would go in and you would basically spend a lot of money for these chests, thinking they would have all kinds of hidden armor and weapons and stuff. Well, some of those cases that you would get, and they would warn you this would happen, you could end up with very nothing at all. I mean, some would have nothing, some would have a few items, and some would have some really serious armor in them. But that's the risk you took. It's kind of like this right here. When you buy these expensive setups, you are taking a risk. And some people really believe at the end of the day that they have an amazing setup when people like me are used to seeing black technology all day. We can look at it and go, no, not even close. You spent how much for what? Yeah. This is all together with the screen and projector an $841 system. If you count the sound bar, which is $120, that's about $961, somewhere around that price. That's $961, yeah. Under $1,000. And my setup that I have here, I can go in here and I can watch at 100% contrast level. I can have my lights on. I can switch up to ultra, anything I want to do in here. That's a $3,000 to $8,000 sample sheet sitting against my screen, and that doesn't even pull up. And chances are, people who just spent that kind of money for it, that kind of screen, spent a ton of money for the projector to go right along with it. That's what I can never understand. When I go to form sites, and I'll see people in there with white screens and silver screens. I can see it with silver screen, I can see because silver screen was a big thing at one point. Before black technology or gray technology, if you really wanted to have a serious home theater setup, a dedicated theater room, you had a silver screen. That's what you had. Now, people that are interested in my company see my vision. They see my vision that black technology is the best. They see the potential in it. They see exactly what it's designed to do. I can set up one of these screens in any form of sport bar and they can watch it with no problem. All the lights on, no problem whatsoever. Put a gray or white screen there, your screen will wash out. Every time I go to every kind of establishment, I see this very expensive projector. That's got to be somebody I know. Anytime I got people that hump like that, and that sounds like in my driveway about now, that's somebody I know. Let's see who that is. Let's see who that is. Chances are it's probably family. Family in my driveway. Family in my driveway. Look at you all curious to see what my family looks like. Nah, it ain't gonna happen. Besides, you don't want to meet them anyway. Majority of my family's military. You don't deal with them jokers. And they won't deal with you. Let me put y'all right over there. Hey! Who you calling like that? Who honking in the morning about alleyway about my driveway like that? I don't even know who you are at the end of the day. How dare you? In my driveway carrying on like that. You see that taco? The nerve of some people. All up in my driveway carrying on like that. Honking the horn. Like you lost your mind. Alright people, I gotta go. I gotta take care of this business real quick. Hope you enjoyed the demonstration. As I said before, do your research. You want a better deal, you contact us. You want to keep getting your money robbed from you, you want to keep in the dark with these faded, washed out screens and untested products, well, it's money at the end of the day, not mine. I've already got my setup here and so do my customers. So I want to make sure you get the best that you possibly can. All right, with that being said, I got to get out of here. Got to go. Thank you all, and God bless. Have you lost your mind?